Planet Dolan.
From finding a corpse while snorkeling to a ghost at the end of your hotel bed, the Planet Dolan crew reenact some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the creepiest things we've experienced while on vacation. I'm Melissa, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by Blowinbubblez. When Honeybits was 11, she and her family went camping in Wales. They arrived so late that they pretty much put up their tents and went straight to bed. Before going to sleep, Honeybits decided to take a Snapchat selfie. As she went through her different filters, she noticed that the camera was detecting two faces, hers and someone, or something, next to her. Honeybits was creeped out, but shrugged it off as a glitch. Later on, she got up to use the bathroom. On the way to the toilet block, she heard what sounded like a child sobbing. This was strange because there was no one else staying at this campsite. She followed the sound and saw a young girl on her knees crying. Honeybits asked her if she was okay, and the girl looked up, giving her a blank, soulless stare. The mysterious girl said,
"You're the same,"
and disappeared before Honeybits could find out what she meant. Number 9 was submitted by DJ Narwhal YT. When Pringle was 7, his parents took him to California. While they were there, his parents had to go to a sales meeting, so they brought Pringle along. Pringle got so bored that he snuck off to explore the building. As he raced around a corner, he crashed into someone and fell over. He got up to apologize, but there was no one there. In fact, the entire corridor was empty. Just as Pringle was about to shrug it off, he felt something lift him by the shoulders. He turned and saw a middle-aged man with a blank stare and no facial features. When Pringle finally broke free, he ran straight to his parents to tell them what had happened. He took a long look around, but couldn't find the man. Security footage showed Pringle wandering around, but as soon as they got to his almost abduction, the footage mysteriously cut out. Pringle never found out what happened to him that day, but it was definitely a spooky way to start his Californian holiday. Number 8 was submitted by Queen-of-Sarcasm. This one time, Ramona went on a school trip to Quebec City. On the way, they stopped for lunch at a shopping center. There, Ramona and her friends found a witchcraft store. The store seemed empty, but as Ramona was looking at all the Wicca stuff, the store owner suddenly bursted out from the back. She pointed at Ramona and was screaming in French. She looked at Ramona with pure hatred and said, "The spirits can't save you, seer!" Ramona and her friends took the hint and got the hell out of there, running all the way back to the bus. Ramona has no idea what the woman meant or why she was singled out, but it freaked her out. Number 7 was submitted by the Solo Lob 0. One time, Emoji took a vacation to Florida with his dad and aunt. Emoji's dad got sick during the trip, so Emoji and his aunt went down to the beach to let him rest. Emoji dove straight into the water and was having a great time. He told his aunt to come into the water, but she said she suddenly didn't feel well. She made them go back to the hotel, which Emoji was annoyed about. When they got back to their room, Emoji heard a huge racket coming from the beach. People were shouting, and lots of sirens were going off. It turned out that a girl in the water had been attacked by a full-grown tiger shark. The story was all over the news, and Emoji realized how close he'd come to being shark food. It creeps him out thinking about what might have happened if his aunt hadn't suddenly felt sick. Number 6 was submitted by TrueOlive. When Doopy was little, her parents often dumped her at her grandparents' place for weeks at a time and called it a vacation. One night, while staying there, Doopy was having trouble sleeping, so she started staring into the shadows on the wall to make herself tired. The shadows were of normal stuff, like trees and blinds, but as she was getting sleepy, Doopy saw a shadow that looked like the silhouette of someone tall and thin. She looked over to her window and saw a long, gangly creature with blank, yellow eyes peering in at her. Doopy kicked off the covers and ran out of the room, slamming the door behind her. She bolted downstairs to hide, and then spent the rest of the night awake on the couch. She still has no idea what this creature was, but it was enough to stop her staying at her grandparents' house. Number 5 was submitted by ElleRoseWater. A few years ago, Gooby and her mom stayed at an old hotel in New Hampshire. The hotel was surrounded by woods and had no fans, TVs, or air conditioning. It was so quiet and creepy inside that you could literally hear a pin drop. Gooby went to sleep feeling very uneasy about staying there. In the middle of the night, she woke up to what felt like someone sitting on her foot. When Gooby opened her eyes, she saw an old woman sitting on the end of her bed. From the corner of her eye, she saw a shadowy figure run across the room and head outside. There was nowhere Gooby could go, so she shut her eyes tight and prayed for the morning to come. The next day, Gooby's mom said she felt like someone, or something, had been caressing her back all night. It freaked them both out, so they decided to check out early while they still had the chance. Number 4 was submitted by the Wrench 545. When Salty Squid was little, he and his family took a trip to Cancun. One day they were exploring in the dense jungle and came across the abandoned temple of Tulum. Salty Squid and his brother split off from their parents to check it out. Inside it was pitch black, so they used their phones as lights. Salty Squid was afraid, but he really wanted to impress his brother. As they went further into the temple, they heard strange whisperings. The whisperings grew louder and louder, so Salty's brother pulled out his flip knife. He was so nervous, his hand was shaking. Just when they thought the noise had stopped, a Mayan Indian jumped out at them from nowhere. He had a huge spear and was chanting something they couldn't understand. Salty and his brother thought he was trying to put a curse on them, so they ran towards the exit as fast as they could. The chanting man started shouting and chased them all the way outside. When they reached their parents, they called the police, but the man with a spear was never found. Number 3 was submitted by SoutherBell. When Hellbent was 6 years old, he took a family skiing trip to Virginia. They stayed in a private cabin just outside a resort. One night, Hellbent was sleeping off a big day on the slopes when he woke to a strange laughter coming from outside. As he listened harder, the laughter turned into creepy singing. The person singing was saying,
Come get you. Come get you.
A terrified Hellbent quickly woke his entire family. The family huddled together as the intruder started scratching at their window. When the back door suddenly opened, Hellbent's dad told him to hide in the closet. As he dialed 911, the creepy singing got closer and closer. The psychopath burst into their room, shouting and swearing. He was just about to open the closet door when suddenly, the resort security tackled him and put him under arrest. Apparently, this intruder had escaped from jail that night. He'd been in there for all sorts of things, like assault, breaking and entering, kidnapping, and he was hoping to add murder to that list. Number 2 was submitted by SuperNerd64. When Sweet Commando was 13, he went to Jamaica with his family, but this in-the-sun vacation quickly turned into a living nightmare. It started when his family suggested going snorkeling in the reef. Sweet Commando had never snorkeled before, but he picked it up pretty quickly and was having an awesome time, until he spotted something terrifying down below. A human corpse that had been impaled by a big piece of coral. The corpse's eyes were wide open in terror, and its mouth was full of flesh-ripping teeth. As Sweet Commando tried to swim away, the corpse reached out to grab him. After screaming and blinking several times, Sweet Commando realized the corpse had disappeared. Sweet Commando had visions of the decaying corpse every night of the trip. I think he would have preferred Emoji's shark attack. And for number 1, I'm going to tell you guys about the creepiest thing I've experienced while on vacation. A few years ago, I was with my family in Maine, and our van started to break down. Coincidentally, we broke down right beside a cemetery. It was raining, but there was a man in a military uniform standing by one of the tombstones. We thought it was a little strange that he was just out there in the rain like that. Turns out, none of my other family members could see him. We later found out that that was a military cemetery, and many of the soldiers buried there were killed in action. Pretty creepy stuff, wouldn't you say? Huge thanks for all the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have a question for you. What was your angriest moment ever? Let us know on the Reddit page link below, and you might be featured in a future countdown. Catch you guys next time!